Well, hello, students. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and welcome to another episode of Parlay with Jay. This is a C-2 English listening practice video. Now, I must say that today's lesson is pretty advanced, as I will have some intermediate and advanced level words in today's story. I don't want you to be intimidated. I simply want you to use this video to practice your English listening skills as I speak today. Now, if you want some of my longer lessons, be sure to use the links down in the description. And if you want the PDF of today's story, along with my notes and vocabulary words, be sure to use the link in the description as well. Well, I hope you're ready for today's story. There's going to be some learning and laughter. I am calling today's story The Brothers. Let's dive into today's lesson. The animosity between Alan and Ethan, two brothers with divergent personalities, had always simmered beneath the surface. Alan, the meticulous elder, exasperated by Ethan's reckless behavior and disregard for rules. Ethan, in turn, resented Alan's constant criticism and perceived bad behavior. Their antagonism reached a crescendo after Ethan's car accident. Guilt and remorse washed over him, forcing him to confront the gravity of his actions. He realized the vulnerability of life and the profound impact his actions could have on others. Ethan began to mend his ways and to improve his character. He started listening to Alan's advice, appreciating his brother's concern. He became more responsible, demonstrating a newfound maturity. Alan, initially skeptical, gradually warmed to Ethan's transformation. The accident, a catalyst for change, had irrevocably altered their relationship. The animosity that once dominated their interactions gradually subsided, replaced by a newfound understanding and respect. They learned to appreciate each other's strengths and weaknesses, forging a stronger, more harmonious bond. Now, I told you that today's story was going to have a lot of intermediate and advanced vocabulary words. So, today's story about the brothers is simply about sibling rivalry. Have you ever noticed your children, or do you have a sibling and you constantly see them argue? It's as if they can never unite or get on the same page. And that's the story that I made here today between Alan and Ethan. And the reason that the relationship changed for the better is because Alan saw his brother go through a car accident. And we can assume that Ethan's car accident was serious. So much so that Alan thought that his brother may have died, and he considered his ways and said, maybe I need to change because life is precious. And sometimes that's how it is in life. It takes something serious to happen for us to alter or change for the better. And so, though today's story had a number of advanced level vocabulary words, that's a brief summary of what the story means. So Now let's learn some of the vocabulary words from today's story. The first one is animosity. Animosity is simply strong dislike or hatred. So, for instance, you may use animosity in a sentence by saying, the long standing animosity between the two families made it difficult to resolve their problems. Have you ever seen groups of people always upset with one another and they can never come to agreement? That's animosity. Divergent. Divergent means to go in different directions or to be of an indifferent opinion. So, for instance, you may say the two roads diverged at the crossroads, leading to different destinations. So, in other words, you have one road coming from the right, one road coming from the left, and they crossed and went in different directions. A divergent, different, or to be differing. Now, here's a word, meticulous, showing great attention to detail, very careful and precise. I am a meticulous person. So you might say, as an example, that she showed great attention to detail, and we concluded that she was very meticulous. Okay, so that's a great way to use meticulous. Again, someone who pays close attention to detail. We usually say it's someone who crosses all of their T's and dots all of their I's. They're very meticulous. Exasperated. Now, that's a funny sounding word, but it's very common to use. Exasperated means to be irritated very intensely or simply to be annoyed. Exasperated. So you might say the teacher was exasperated by the constant interruptions from the students. Okay, so the teacher was tired, upset, or irritated. Okay, another word from the story is disregard, and that simply means to ignore something or to ignore someone. Disregard. You might say in a sentence, he disregarded the warning signs and continued to enter the restricted area. Okay. Disregard, which means to ignore, to look over, or not to take seriously. Okay. I disregarded my nosy sister. Condescending, or how it was used in the story, we might say it's an attitude where someone has disdain or they have a superior complex, or simply put, someone thinks that they're better than someone else. You have a condescending attitude. I don't like being around you. You're very condescending. You treat me as if I'm not important. And finally, remorse, deep regret or guilt. Okay, so you might say he was filled with remorse after realizing the pain he had caused on his ex wife. Okay, so when a person has remorse, they have godly sorrow, they feel guilty, they're upset about their past actions or behavior. Now, I have a few more words, but I'm going to put them on the PDF because I try to keep these videos quick and brief. You can get the rest of my list from the PDF, which I have linked down in the description. And can you believe I almost have 100 PDF lessons that you can study when you hit that link, and it will take you right to them. So I hope you take advantage of that, show your support. And if you want to watch longer video lessons, be sure to use the link in the description. That's going to do it for today's story. I hope you enjoyed the brothers. As always, if you know someone trying to improve their English, share today's lesson with them. And I hope you join me on my next English lesson. I hope to see you then.